Before we dive into today's video, I want to let you guys know about something new that I'm trying. I'm launching it today. Its link is down in the description below. I am starting a Discord server for all you comic book fans that want to talk with me about comic books. There is a channel for New Comic Book Day conversations, FOC speculation, general comic chatter, and I don't know where this is going to go, and I don't know what I'm actually doing with it. I'm not a Discord junkie. I'm not a part of a lot of different channels, so I'm probably going to be pretty bad at this for a while. But my goal with this is to have a way to communicate with you guys, the Bruce and Stephanie Comics community, a little bit more. So if you guys would like to join the Discord server, its link is down in the description below, and I hope some of you guys do. I would love to talk comics with more people throughout the week, and yeah, I think this could be a lot of fun. Obviously, there's no pressure to join at all, but if you would like to talk comics with me during the week, this is the place to do it. You can share your New Comic Book Day pull list, any cool covers that you see, any cool book that you find online that you want to share with me. That's the place to do it. But one more thing about the Discord server before we dive into today's video. Just remember, I do have a family and a full-time job, and my life is super busy, so if I take a little bit of time to respond to you guys, that is most likely why. But also, guys, this is a way for you guys to communicate with each other. The Bruce and Stephanie Comics family coming together to talk about comics. So hopefully this is going to be a cool thing. If it's not, no big deal. We can just turn off the server, or I can delete the server. It won't be a big deal. But I think this is something that could be really cool for the channel. So guys, the link is down in the description below. And if you guys want to find out if you guys won last week's giveaway, make sure you guys are sticking around to the end of the video, or to find out how to enter next week's giveaway. Alright guys, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back yet to another Wednesday pull list, which is your hype video for New Comic Book Day. And this week's New Comic Book Day is January 31st of 2024. It's the last day of January. We're almost already through the month of January of 2024. Is the year already flying by for you? Because it is for me. Yeah, it just seems as you get older, the months, the days, the hours go by faster and faster. I hate it, but I also get new comic books in my hands that much faster, it seems. So I'm all excited for that. But guys, let's not waste any more time. Anyone new to the channel, thank you so much for joining. This is going to be a wild ride talking about all the amazing books and covers that are on my pull list. So let's not waste any more time and check out my pull list. Now, as you guys can see, that is a teeny tiny pull list. Normally my pull list is pretty big, which if this pull list is really small, that means I have some really big pull lists coming up. I think not next week, the week after. I have like 30 books on my pull list, which is terrifying. I don't know how I'm gonna read 30 books, but you guys can't see what these books are. So let me go ahead and throw it up on screen right now. There are 12 total books on my pull list. There is one new #1, and I read all the previous issues to the books that you see on screen right now. So all of these books could make the top 3 list. Now, if we break down this list a little more, there are 5 books from DC Comics, 4 from Marvel Comics, and there are 3 independent titles, and that's it. That is the pull list this week, so let's not waste any more time. We're going to jump over the chopping block because there were no books on the chopping block, but we are going to dive right into my cover lover picks. I found 6 gorgeous and amazing covers coming out on this week's New Comic Book Day, and I'm really excited to share these with you guys. And the first one up is Wolverine issue number 42. Now, this is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Arthur Adams. I've loved this cover ever since I saw it, I believe, on previews, or maybe it was out when it was on final order cutoff, but either way, this cover is absolutely fantastic, especially if you're an Arthur Adams fan. I'm going to try to score myself a copy, but I'm pretty sure this is going to sell it before I can get my hands on it. And it's probably going to go over ratio price, and I'm not going to want to pay that. But guys, this cover is gorgeous. And after that, we have Batman and Robin Annual issue #1. Now, this is the cover D, which is also the 1:25 ratio variant done by Gleb Malenkov. Nikov? I'm totally butchering your name, Gleb, and I am sorry, but your artwork is fantastic. I love how Damian Wayne looks like really happy as he's jumping, and then Batman's all grumpy like this. Even though Damian and Batman are both really grumpy all the time, so maybe we should make them both grumpy, but either way, your artwork is fantastic. Now, this next book is World Tree issue number 7, the Ultra Raw 26 MegaCon exclusive from a name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it's right there on screen for you guys to see. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous World Tree cover. Like I said, you can pick it up at MegaCon. I believe it's this weekend, or was it last weekend? But either way, I'm sure you can pick it up online somewhere, either eBay or some online stores. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Now, next up is Alan Scott, Green Lantern, issue number 4. This is the cover B variant done by Nick Robles. This is really good. If you just really pay attention to the detail in this cover, it is absolutely gorgeous. The line work, the coloring, the inking, everything is really, really good. I'm not a huge Alan Scott fan, but I am a huge fan of this cover. It is gorgeous. And guys, after that is a really good cover for Trinity Special issue number 1. Now, this is the cover B variant done by Jorge Jimenez. You guys know, by now, if you watch this channel long enough, I am a huge Jorge Jimenez fan, and this cover is really, really good. And in my opinion, definitely the best cover from the Trinity Special issue number 1. The 1 in 25 by Mitch Gerards is pretty good, and the 1 in 50 is okay, but this cover B by Jorge Jimenez is like so good. Now guys, there's one more cover that I want to share with you guys, and if you watch my final order cutoff speculation video, it was on that. This is Moon Man issue number 1, the cover D, which is the 1 in 20 ratio variant, not 25, 1 in 20, done by Sanford Green. I am slowly becoming a Sanford Green fan because this cover is so good, and he's also doing the artwork for a Red Hood book that's coming up that also looks really, really good. So guys, those are the 6 covers that I found on this week's New Comic Book Day, which again is January 31st of 2024. Yeah, those are my cover liver picks. Let's go ahead and find out what new number 1 that I think you guys just have to be excited about. Alright guys, you guys know the deal. Before we get into that new number 1, I gotta ask you, have you smashed that like button just yet? If you haven't, do me a favor, smash that like button. It really, really does help the channel out a lot. So smash the like button, and yeah, let's go ahead and check out that new number 1. There's only one new number 1 book on my pull list, so let's go ahead and dive into this book, and it is Trinity Special issue number 1. Now, this is coming from the creative team that is making Wonder Woman right now, which is Tom King and Daniel Samprier, but this also has some reprinted stories of the first appearances of this character and more. But guys, let me go ahead and read the synopsis for you. The first appearances of DC's breakout character collected, featuring a brand new story from the Wonder Woman team of Tom King and Daniel Samprier, featuring DC's brightest new star, Trinity, discovers Lizzie's earliest adventures as she takes the world of heroes by storm, reprinting the character's first appearance alongside hilarious tales of a little Amazon and her super son babysitters. This special will be an instant classic for fans of old and new, plus a brand new story from an all-star creative team behind Wonder Woman that will tease the future of Diana's daughter. So it looks like we're going to get either 1 or 2 new stories plus some reprinted stories in there as well. Now, I'm pretty excited for this book because I love Tom King. Daniel Samprier is a fantastic artist. I actually did not read this character's first appearance because I was only collecting Wonder Woman at the time for covers. So I'm really excited to get this book, and there are some amazing covers for it. Like I said, there's that cover B. There's also a cover C by Balin Ortega, which is pretty good. The 1 in 25 by Mitch Gerards is really good, and that 1 in 50, which I believe is by Doc Shaner, is also really good. If I was wrong about the 1 in 50, I'll make sure I have the name up on screen as well. But guys, this is a book that I think a lot of people should be excited about, especially if you are enjoying Wonder Woman right now, which you should be, because it's actually really good. Alright guys, that is the new number 1 that I think you guys have to be excited about. Let's go ahead and find out what my top 3 books to pick up to read this week, because I think the stories are so good. Alright guys, sitting in the number 3 spot is Batman Offworld issue number 3. Now this is coming from the writer of Jason Aaron and art by Doug Menke. And guys, this book is super solid. It is a great tale about Batman's first experience in space, but what I like about issues number 1 and especially issue number 2 is that Batman is sticking to his morals. He will not kill, and he will do anything, even go out of his way to save beings from trouble. And it is so good. And Doug Menke's art is absolutely fantastic. But my favorite part in this book is that Batman befriended a robot called Punchbot. This robot's whole job is to take punches. Like, he's supposed to help train warriors and just get the crap beat out of them and tell them what they're doing right or wrong. And he was a really cool character in issue number 1 and especially issue number 2. Now, if you watch Mandalorian, there is a bad guy robot that gets reprogrammed to be good, and it kind of had that kind of feels. That character was really, really well done. And yeah, I'm actually really enjoying the story. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. The art is, like I said, is absolutely fantastic. And Batman's got to get some kind of alien dog creature in the next issue. And who does not want to see Batman riding a badass alien dog? Well, I think everyone does. I can tell you right now. I'm answering for you. That's right. I'm answering for you. Everyone wants to see Batman on an alien dog. All right, guys. So before we get into the next book, there are some pretty cool variant covers. The cover B is by Christian Ward. It's okay. The 1 in 25 by Alan Qua is fine. The 1 in 50 is the black and white sketch variant of cover A. I actually might like that better than the color version, but it's a 1 in 50. I'm definitely not going to be paying high prices for that book. But guys, that is the number 3 book. Let's go ahead and find out what the number 2 is. All right, guys, the book that's in the number 2 spot is a book from Image Comics. It's part of the Energon universe, and early reviews of issue number 1 were not great. So I went into reading issue number 1 yesterday with a little bit of hesitation. I'm like, is this book gonna be any good? And I gotta tell you guys, I don't know what people were talking about online. Issue number 1 was really good. It's in the number 2 spot of this top 3 list. Yes, this is a very small week for me, so maybe that's why it's in the number 2 spot, but I still really enjoyed it, and I'm loving this Energon universe. And if you guys did not know, by this point, I'm talking about the book of Duke, because issue number 2 comes out tomorrow, and yeah, issue number 1 was fantastic, and I am pumped to read issue number 2. Now, this is coming from the writer of Joshua Williamson and art by Tom Riley. Let's talk about the art first. I don't think I've ever read a comic with art in it from Tom Riley, but I gotta tell you, it was great. It was some really solid artwork. I like the line work out of it. I love the detail, and the way he expressed emotion through each of the characters in his artwork was fantastic. So it was a great fit for this story, and Joshua Williams' writing was fantastic. He did a great job of setting up Duke as a character for new readers, and I gotta tell you guys, I don't know a ton about G.I. Joe. I watched a cartoon when I was a kid. I love that theme song. I sing the song at random times when it just comes to my head. But yeah, so I'm not a huge G.I. Joe fan, but for me, this is a great intro back into this character of Duke and who he is and what he's going to be for G.I. Joes. And yeah, this was fantastic. And we also got a little tease, I believe, of the Cobra bad guy, or one of the Cobra bad guys, not the Cobra Commander, but someone else. I don't know, but it was really good. Definitely set up a good story, and I'm pumped for the next issue. Now, I will say the variant covers aren't good. I don't really like any of them. The cover B is okay, and then the 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 1 in 50, and the big clutch exclusive aren't good in my opinion. But again, I'm not a G.I. Joe fan, so maybe some of these are really good, but to me, yeah, none for me. I'm just gonna go with that cover A. All right, guys, that was the number 2 book. Let's go ahead and find out what book is in the number 1 spot. All right, guys, my favorite book this week is an absolute banger. It is so good. I read issue number 1 yesterday. So good. Now, what kind of books do I get this excited about? I'm sure some of you know by now that some of my favorite stories, especially superhero stories, are Elseworld tales or what if stories, and this is exactly what this is. It was so good. Now, I am talking about Avengers Twilight issue number 2 comes out this week. Like I said, I read issue number 1 yesterday. Holy guacamole, this was so good. Now, this is coming from the writer of Chip Zdarsky. I should have known just by knowing that he is writing this book that it was going to be so good, but it also has some amazing art by Daniel Acuna. This book was fantastic. Now, what I usually say about Elseworld Tales and What If stories that is so good is that if you are kind of sick of the current continuity, or you don't like the current continuity and you want to step away and just have writers and creators try something different and something new, and they got this whole world that they can play with all these established characters and they can just do what they want with them, and they do a good job, it is so, so good. That is what this story is. It's set off way into the future with the Avengers are totally different characters. A lot of our characters are much, much older, and the government is very oppressive of the people. There's curfews and all that. And we follow Steve Rogers as our main character in the book. And his super soldier serum has been taken out of him. So he's just an old man. And he meets up in the park with Matt Murdock and Luke Cage. And they're talking about some stuff. But then on his walk home, Steve Rogers runs into some kids and they're just skateboarding and taking video, but you're not allowed to take video anymore, or a certain type of video. I forgot what it is. And they get in trouble and the cops are giving them a really hard time. And Steve Rogers decides, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I gotta step in. And he steps in, and it obviously doesn't go good for him, but then he gets saved at the very last moment by, you know what? Some people that don't like this oppressive government. And that's all I'm going to say. Definitely a really cool setup to possibly a really cool story about, you know what, old Avengers or maybe a new group of Avengers coming up to free the people. And it could possibly be so good. Now, I want to talk quickly about the art by Daniel Acuna. It is fantastic. Again, I'm not sure if I've ever read a comic book with artwork by Daniel Acuna, but it was really, really fantastic. I think he might do it with paints or watercolors or something, because it definitely has a certain style to it, but it was fantastic. It really was. It definitely set the tone for this book, and it's futuristic. It's fantastic. I loved this book. I really did. Now, there are some okay variant covers for this. The Daniel Acuna variant where Iron Man is on the cover and there's like a dark blue background is really, really good. There was a Greg Smallwood cover which has a trade dress in it version. There's also a Daniel Acuna with a, no, this is a Phil Noto cover that's red with Iron Man flying on it. There's a trade dress in a 1 in 200. There's a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 as well. But I really just like that Daniel Acuna variant with Iron Man like flying with the blue background. That one is really good in my opinion. But guys, if you did not pick up Avengers Twilight and you are sick of current continuity or you don't like the current continuity, definitely give this book a try, especially if you're a big Marvel fans. Like this was a really, really good book. I loved it. I love those kinds of story, and Chip Zdarsky definitely is definitely setting up a really, really cool story. Yeah, there's more I could tell you, but I'm gonna stop. Definitely pick this book up. It was super, super good. And there's also some great variants for issue number 1 if you did not pick it up. You can still pick them up now. Oh, so good. Again, I could talk forever. I'm not forever, just more, but I'm not. So that is it for the top 3. Let's go ahead and check out the not top 3, but the books you gotta see. Alright guys, this should be pretty quick because there is only 12 total books on my pull list, and we've already spoke about 4 of them, so it only leaves 8 books to talk about. And the first book up is Avengers Inc. issue number 5. Now this book started off great in issue number 1. Issue number 2 wasn't so great, but I read issues number 3 and issue number 4 yesterday, and the story is definitely building. I like where it's going. There was a crazy little twist in issue number 4, so this book is getting better and better with each issue, even though issue number 2 was kind of a stumble, but they're going again. And it had some pretty good artwork in it, and some also banger covers. There's been some really good covers for this run so far. Next up is Batman Superman World's Finest 2024 Annual. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm most likely not gonna read these annual issues. I picked them up just to complete runs. And yeah, but this is, you know, written by Mark Waid, art by Dan Mora. It could be a cool continuation or finalization of whatever story is going on in World's Finest right now. I'll probably flip through it and see if it's interesting or not, but you know what? It's an annual. I most likely always skip annuals. So, next up is Batman and Robin 2024 Annual. Again, this is done by the same creative team, I believe. Let's go ahead and confirm. Yeah, Joshua Williamson. No, it has art by Howard Porter, which is different than the normal one. So Most likely, again, I'm probably going to skip this because, you know what, it just, I get so backed up in so many other issues that, you know what, if I can find a way to jump ahead, I normally do. So skipping annuals normally is the way to do it, but I always pick them up again to finish my runs. Next up is Dark Ride issue number 10. Now this is coming from the writer of Joshua Williamson. We've spoken his name multiple times in this video. He is such a great writer, and this has art. I forgot who the artist on this book. I'll put it up on screen right here. But guys, this book is a ton of fun, but one thing that is hurting this book is delays. Issue number 10 has been delayed for a little while. I am definitely having to play catch up as I read it. There's no way I'm going to go back and read previous issues. I don't have time in my life to do that. But the story overall is still super fun. And the artwork does seem, I don't know if they got a different artist on issue number 9 or something, but it was definitely a little different than normal, because normally the artwork is a selling point on this book, but still a super good book, especially if you're into horror. Next up is Incredible Hulk issue number 8. This is coming from Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein. I'm not loving this book. I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it. I don't know. I feel like this book has lost its stride or momentum and is stumbling a little bit. I think that happened because they had fill-in artists, and that kind of lost its pace a little bit. I don't know. Or maybe Philip Kennedy Johnson is just writing too many books. I don't know. But the book is not terrible. It's just not great. Guys, next up is Spider-Boy issue number 3. Dan Slott, and I forgot who the artist is on this book. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not on the chopping block, but it's very corny and kind of silly. But not terrible. I want to give this book a little bit more time to see where this is going to go, because I think the idea of a sidekick character for Spider-Man could be pretty cool if they can do it right. But right now, it's just kind of corny. But we're only 2 issues in, or this will be issue number 3, so 3 issues in. So I'm going to give it a first full 6 issues, and then I'm going to decide after that. Next up is Titans Beast World issue number 6. I read issue number 5 yesterday. Still just okay. Not great. Crossover events, I think, need to go by the wayside, and I think they just need to focus on really good storytelling without these big overarching events. I think events can be done well, but currently, right now, within this time frame of the 2020s, it's just not being done very well. So I think let's put them on pause, DC, Marvel. Let's just write really good ongoing books for a while, and let's see where that goes. And the last book to talk to you guys about is World Tree issue number 7. I read issues number 5 and 6 yesterday, and this is a great horror story involving the dark net, the undernet. It's really good. It's really, really good, especially if you're into that tech, and virus type thing. It's really interesting. I'm really excited to see where this book is going to go. It's written by James Tynion IV, so the story is obviously going to be good, and it does have some pretty good artwork in this book. I'm really, really liking it. This book almost made the top 3 list. It was that close. All right, guys, that was the not top 3, but the books you gotta see, and that is the end of today's video. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up and find out who won last week's giveaway. Alright guys, we are at the end of the video, and if you guys have been watching since the first frame of this video without skipping anything to this point right now, I just want to thank every single one of you, and I want to let you guys know, you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much. Now, if you guys watched that video, and you guys enjoyed that video, and you enjoy comic book content, but you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notification, and smash that like button. Alright guys, that's out of the way. One more thing before we find out who won last week's giveaway. Remind your new Discord server down in the comments below if you guys would like to talk new comic books or final order cutoff speculation or just chat and say hello. Link is down in the description below, and join the Discord server. I would love to have all you fans out there of comic books joining the server and just talking comic books with me. I think that would be a ton of fun. Alright guys, let's go ahead and cut up close and find out who won last week's giveaway. Alright guys, you know how we do this. We find last week's video, we click it, we pause it, we go up here, we copy the URL, and then we go over to this website right here, and then we paste the URL. And then not anything goes. No, we do keyword filter, and we use the hashtag I love comic books. Now you had to leave that hashtag in your comment on last week's video to get an entry into this week's video. And be subscribed and like the video. Those are the things I would like you guys to do. But let's find out how many people did just that. Let's find out. It's collecting the comments. There were 50 of you. I think it's 52 weeks in a row. Thank every single one of you who left the hashtag and left a comment on last week's video. I really do read every single one, guys. It's like the best thing for me to see you guys' like interaction with me. It's the coolest. It really is. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's find out who won last week's giveaway. In 3, 2, 1, it was Andrew Kai. Congratulations, Andrew. Congratulations, Andrew Kai. Now, you are a sneaky little bastard and you live out in Australia, or is it New Zealand? I think it's Australia. But what I need you to do is either A, pay for shipping, or let me know who in the United States of America you would like to ship this giveaway to, and I will get these books shipped out to them. Andrew, congratulations, and you've been a supporter of this channel so long, like so long. And Stephanie does say hello, by the way. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. Now, if you would like to get an entry into next week's giveaway, this is one thing I forgot. I was about to sign off, but I forgot to let you guys know how to enter next week's giveaway. It's the same thing as it always is. You gotta live in the United States of America, you gotta be subscribed to the channel, you gotta leave a comment on the video, and you gotta leave the hashtag I love comic books. That's it. That's all you gotta do. All right, guys, Discord server down in the comments below. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up by saying goodbye. All right, guys, I'll be back on Friday, or no, Thursday, with my final order cutoff speculation video. And I might have a third video this week. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to promise anything because this week is actually really busy for me. All right, guys, have yourself a great new comic book day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.